So I get it like this. Usually it's not. And then where did Mike go? Where am I? So it did take me a while to get this strong to be able to pick up the bike. Since I was born with no arms, I don't know what it's like to have arms, so not having is a form of a blessing, if you will. But I use my feet for everything. If you were to lose your arms, you'd have to go through physical therapy, rehabilitation. You'd have to have prosthetics. As you can see, I don't have any prosthetics on. I actually tried prosthetics in the early 90s, but each arm weighed like 10 pounds. It had to be shipped back and forth from England, so that was not a pretty picture whatsoever. So I said, forget with the prosthetics, I can do things a lot faster with my feet. And then you have to press it a couple of times. And then yes, those are LED lights, but I can't figure out how to get the little flies out of those light bulbs. You know. Well, in 1986, there was a nuclear meltdown in Chernobyl. Around that time, there were millions of children like me who were born with disabilities. Some were more deformed than others. I think I got lucky, you know, by not having arms. I grew up in an orphanage for the first 8 years of my life. Then I was adopted, came here in 1992, and I've been here ever since. So this is how I open the doors. And basically I can get almost, oh yeah, he thinks he's getting fed. I can basically get almost anything out of here, like this, up like this. And yes, I do feed him raw eggs, so I can get the egg out quite easily, and then be able to put it back. This is my slow cooker that I make everything in. Oh yes, here. This is almond milk that I'll be making later today. I do have some assistants, you know, like, you know, if you grocery shopping, you know, if you saw me pick up an apple, you'd be like, wow, that's pretty impressive. But then if you saw me put it back, then you'd be like, yeah, let me not shop here ever again, you know. But I work from home for Alpine Access. Been with them since March 2012. I'm a quality assurance specialist overseeing 900 people. So my job keeps me quite busy. If I had to choose, I probably would rather have no arms than no legs. Because at least with legs, you're mobile, you can use them as your hands, you know. Whereas with if you don't have any legs or mobile, it's very hard, you know. But of course, where there's a will, there's a way, and I've seen people overcome remarkable things. And as you can see, I use my mouth for a lot of things. I always wanted to have a bike, because I actually had a bike in a boarding school that I was in Missouri. And I've gone to so many bike shops, and they basically either tell me I'm a liability, or that what I'm asking to be done can't be done. So we came across Michael Brown, and he was able to retrofit the bike for me so I can steer with my stump. I have a little bit of a nub here.
To me, a bicycle is a very simple machine, very simple components, but very complicated at the same time to get it right. My dream was always to build and fabricate. Just to see a product start out with raw tubing and end up as a finished bicycle that somebody can ride and enjoy for the rest of their life is just, it amazes me to this day that I have this job. A friend of his got in contact with me through an email running into me a couple of times, and she told me about Michael, and she explained to me how his handicap prevented him from riding a bike, and at the time I really wasn't sure how intense his handicap was, but I was explained how he went to numerous bike shops and made a lot of phone calls and couldn't find anybody to help him. Everybody was, it can't be done, you shouldn't do it, we don't want to be liable if something goes wrong. And once I started talking to Mike and realized that he's capable of riding, well, I think everybody is, that's when we kind of became friends, and I moved into the fabrication end of it.
I basically gave him my designs. I even actually drew a picture using Photoshop of the electric bike I got, and then I Photoshopped out the handlebars and Photoshopped in the handlebar that I use now to steer. Well, I put my knob in here, and I steer it like this, so it's pretty easy, and then I just, you know, use my powerful legs. This is a one-gear bike, so it's all leg power. Yes, I wear sandals, not the most bike-savvy shoes, but, you know. And then I just steer like this, and this thing can go up and down so I can lean in, lean out.
So to imagine not having the arms and how he is able to cope without them, and basically beautiful functioning guy without his arms, and this is just another process for him to enjoy life through.
Well, it's again back to being, more independent. You don't have to rely on somebody. I'll always have to rely on somebody for the rest of my life, just because there's certain things I can't do. But not being able to have to always rely on somebody to take me up, always having to wait for them to pick me up once the movie's over. I can wait 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's like my schedule. I ride to the movies, ride back, or ride to Subways, ride back, I could ride to Giant Eagle, get a few things, then ride back instead of having to, wait for someone to actually take me. So that's going to be a huge burden off my chest.
To bring Mike into the community this way, to have him be accepted by other cyclists, and to have him become one of us, and just, his handicap kind of like melts away right now when he's on the bicycle. It gives him freedom. He able to leave his house. He's not homebound, and give him all that freedom, and just to see him ride, is it just brings me joy.
I got good biking tips. You ride good, man.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten better.